Youth Day was set aside by United Nations for us to see how we can address issues affecting young people across the country. So today we join other countries to celebrate this particular day. In celebrating it, we need to look at issues affecting young people and find possible solutions to these particular problems. Because when we look at what is happening presently, like for instance, let's take a look at Sierra Leone, we have several commitments being made by government officials when it comes to youth affairs. Today I was at the Miata conference wherein the Minister of Youth Affairs made commitments of them ensuring that they look at issues affecting young people and finding possible ways. But one thing that I want to look at in Sierra Leone is the aspect of implementation, because not that there are not policies for young people, policies that will enhance the development of young people. There are policies, but what has been the problem in Sierra Leone is the manner in which we implement those policies. So there are several policies again coming for young people. Today I was there and the minister said presently they are reviewing the national youth policy that has to do with youth, that will look at the issues that are affecting youth and find possible ways. But listen, looking at it, reviewing the policies is not the problem. Implementing the problem. I was in Kenema last year, same August 12, when we celebrated the International Youth Day, and the theme was safe spaces for youth. But let me ask you a question. How many spaces have been created for youth that are safe for youth, where youth can go and learn some things, where youth can go and sit and discuss issues that are affecting them? So International Youth Day, it's very good as a nation that we join today, other countries, in celebrating it. We look at issues affecting young people and bringing possible ways in solving them.
My name is Mohammad Manzoor Ali. I am a student at Forever College, University of Sierra Leone. Okay, well, first off, I have to deeply commend the organizations that came together and put together this program for all the youths of Sierra Leone. And the program in and of itself, the topic, transforming education in Sierra Leone, I think it's a step in the right direction. Although I feel like, as the reason why we're all here today is that it needs a little bit more work. But overall, I think it's a really great initiative. I think the organizations, as well as we the youths, we're on the right track to transforming education in Sierra Leone.
We need to learn to give our all in education, not only the formal education, but also the little things that we learn, because they said education is seeking knowledge of something, having knowledge of a particular thing. It's not just based in the classroom or colleges, but in our little way at home, garden, or anywhere we find ourselves. The little thing that we have is education. That's what we are. So we have to just have that urge, that passion for anything that we have. In that way we can transform education.
It is of immense significance because, believe it or not, in Sierra Leone, I believe Sierra Leone, 50 or 40% of Sierra Leone population is the youth. And it's not only about education, there are a lot of opportunities besides education that youths do not have, like job opportunities. And there's just this social dynamic that you have to go to school to get a job in Sierra Leone, where in other parts of the world where youths do not have this problem, it occurs there. Yeah. So I think that the aim transforming education should be about molding kids from that young age and teach them for the future. Not about what they're to learn now to pass their examinations. Teach them to build up their skills that they can use in the future. Like they talked about utilizing your hobbies and your talents. As they mentioned, all the famous people like Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, that they all honed their abilities and their hobbies to ensure that they express themselves to the world. Those are the type of people, those are the type of things we want to see. Mark Zuckerberg is a youth and he honed his skills. That's what true education is about. That's what true knowledge is about. When you have education, it's just like playing blank dots. If you have knowledge of that education, you can connect these dots.
We have learned so much, and based on what are the things that we should do as a girl child, and what are the things that we should focus on that will give us or give us a better life tomorrow, and the things that will help us to build the country as a whole. Because most of the girls, we have distractions and we have other things that normally we do face, or as to say we are not perfect. But these are some of the programs that normally bring us together and give us ideas on how we should put ourselves together, on how we should build ourselves for now and the future.
What really do we have to transform about our education is the question we have to answer. What do we have to transform our education? Is it that our education is not giving us the desired results to promote national development? Is it that our education really needs to be amended in fitting the requirement of the challenges of the 21st century? These are the things we have to discuss. And already we have several challenges within the educational sector. Among those is corruption, which is a very serious, pillar that is fighting the development of education in Sierra Leone. We see issues of injustices, we see marginalization in schools and colleges. We see situations where young people or students in schools face several problems. The issue of sex for grades and the kind of those ones, corruption, paying and collecting of bribes. We see situations where young people have been victimized. Those who cannot afford the monies to pay do not get the grades that they deserve. We see others getting grades that they do not deserve. So the problems are many, and it's like we have to think whether our education needs to be rebranded in order to meet the challenges of the 21st century. And that is exactly what young people are discussing today.
Well, if we talk about what youth are facing in society, first of all, I would like to look at the girl child, because most of our girl child now are facing teenage pregnancy, early child marriage, rape as a victim and all. So I think those are some of the issues for the girl child which the government should focus on and put more attention. The impact that I've got and the ideas and the knowledge that I've got is that me as a youth and what I have learned here today, I will not keep it to myself, but I would rather go out and also tell others who do not have ideas about what I have learned today here, based on what are the things that we should do as a woman, and what are the things that we should be putting in place, and what are the things that we'll focus in on that will help us today and for the next coming generation.
Well, I expect each and every one of us to go back into our various academic institutions, our various communities, and try to ensure that the youth's voice is heard. Yeah? To ensure that we are not to be named irrelevant in Sierra Leone. We're not to be classed, as was said earlier, that we are thieves and rebels and whatnot. When there's a section of us that have so much more to give to this country, that have so much more to give to our communities. I just feel like everybody here, if they really listen and they take into cognizance what has been said, I'm 100% sure that this will be a step in the right direction. This is the first of many steps we will have to take to ensure that education is transformed in Sierra Leone.